Introducing the all-new Audi SJW. Comes with portable echo chamber, problem glasses, and a glass ceiling roof that doubles as a projection. Runs on 64 miles per male tier and has all minority drive. If women order now, we will cut the price of your new Audi SJW by 77%, because as we all know, women only get paid 77% of what a man gets paid. Hello, something guys and gals. This is Something Guy 912. So, with the advent of Trump's upswing victory and the downfall of the left's grasp of control and reality, this year in particular has seen a creeping of politically charged, biased media where it otherwise shouldn't be. No, this isn't another opportunity for me to dog on that new Ghostbusters movie, as I think that was only a symptom of the ideologically dogmatic cinema, commercials, and TV shows to come. Just in this month alone, I have witnessed the trailer to Get Out, a race-based horror that pretty much aims to be some kind of social commentary of the US currently, even though it is clearly out of touch with the events that subsided. The movie Hidden Figures went heavy-handed and in your face with the political punches it was making, obviously scoring well on Rotten Tomatoes because virtue signaling will obviously win you more points than actually making a point on today's conditions, and what this video will be talking about advertisements, or in this case, AdverseTisements. So the Super Bowl ads have had a tradition of usually being very funny and otherwise entertaining to watch, from the weird and quirky Old Spice commercials to the crass M&M commercials of a few years ago. But seeing that it's the current year and Trump, the worst president ever, is in office, even the Super Bowl couldn't be saved from the fetid tendrils of the political chain. I will be going through 3 commercials in particular that really try to make some kind of political statement, all the while failing in even selling a product of any kind. First off is the Audi commercial, as the intro to this video alluded to. Second is the Budweiser immigration ad, which might be the least offensive of the bunch. And finally, 84 Lumber, a no-name business that got its name through pure pissing on the faces of those who voted for Trump by making a tear down this wall ad, with obviously knee-jerk moments. What's funny about all of this is that I'm not against the idea of critiquing the president's policy decisions, but through the filter of the left, we don't get to see the other side of his policy decisions and only see the bad of what Trump is proposing. That the wall will stop Mexico from muscling their rebel rousers out in order to keep their tyrannical government afloat. That the wall will stop corporations from taking advantage of illegal immigrants who know nothing about our civil laws and pay them a pittance compared to U.S. citizens. That the Muslim ban is just business as usual and was a ban of countries that was compiled by Obama, who left office, and was clearly to dissuade terrorist migrants from trying to co-opt Western values of Sharia law. None of this ever comes through their minds. They rather plug their ears and hate Trump on principle, even when he's doing exactly what he promised he was going to do when he ran, something that I've yet to witness in my lifetime, or when he's doing things that the left normally would agree with. So let's see how these million-dollar corporations try to twist Trump's wrist for being the wrong kind of million-dollar corporatist, shall we?
What do I tell my daughter?
That despite what the media will tell you, your daughter is equally as capable of doing good work like a man will, so long as she doesn't aspire to get her majors in social sciences and gender studies? I know that's the proper answer to the question after the rest of the bullcrap this guy spills, but considering how nebulous the question is forthright without any context, pretty much any answer could do. Eat your vitamins, sweetie. Don't stay up past 9 p.m., my little princess.
Do I tell her that her grandpa's worth more than her grandma?
No, because that's a straight up lie. Although, considering said Equal Wage Act didn't get passed until 1964, there is a possibility that her grandpa was worth more than her grandma. Although, God forbid Audie give you that context.
That her dad is worth more than her mom?
Don't you mean I'm worth more than your mom, since you are asking yourself a question? Also, this is most definitely a lie. If I had a nickel for every time the conflation with earning compared to paying was made, I'd be able to use that money to fix said gender gap. Let me clarify to you in simple English. They take the average of all the annual salaries that men make and compare it to the average of all annual salaries that women make, and it comes out like as if women make 77 cents to every man's dollar. Not that it does, it's a hypothetical if you don't take into account hours worked, what kind of jobs men work compared to women, how long somebody stays with a company or business, and how many days someone takes off compared to someone else. This is the main problem of just simply averaging and dividing the two figures. All of these things are not taken into account, are probably the reason that there is this earning disparity. I'm not even saying there isn't one. It's just that you keep making the claim that women are getting discriminated by their hourly rates, and therefore women should be put up on a pedestal for it, instead of encouraging women to work as construction workers and miners. Oh wait, women don't like to work as construction workers and miners. Now do you understand why there's a disparity?
Do I tell her that despite her education, her drive, her skills, her intelligence, she will automatically be valued as less than every man she ever meets?
It depends on the education and skills she has. If her skill is to be a professional victim, she'll get somewhere, but not to pediatrician or nuclear physicist levels of money. If her education is communication studies and sociology on skin color, she might get a gig at some indie journalism site, but good luck making the same wages as a CEO at an automobile industry. I also like this faux rascals race that's going on, making the girl in this scenario the equivalent of Danica Patrick at the wheel of a go-kart, for what I can only assume is her being a female. Because there isn't any way you could perhaps show her intelligence that would require you not to simplify someone to their fucking descriptor. But I'm the misogynist, apparently. Are the other boys racing her looking snide because she's trying to get into their boys' club? Or is that something that you're going to find naturally when you come across some competition?
Or maybe I'll be able to tell her something different.
Yeah, exactly. Something that doesn't undermine her ability as a intelligent, skilled racer. Shit, when she gets older, you should get her into NASCAR with the feats she's pulling off at the spry age of 13. But notice how none of it comes through the essence of her JJ? Also, what in all godly gook does any of this have to do with selling cards, mind you? Are you selling me virtue signals over fuel-efficient vehicles? Oh, just now, are you? Well, Audie, it looks like you have come clean with telling me that you've been paying women less than men. I'll have you know that there's a law in 1964 that makes that illegal, so you've been committing the act for over 50 years now. Now the court's going to crack you down for discriminating women. How dare you do that? Even though if you did, no man would ever get a job at Audie because Audie would just hire the women to do all the work since they can pay them less anyhow. Oh, wait, was that supposed to be some kind of statement? Wow, Audie, what virtuous cuckolds you are, abiding by a law like a good little corporation you are. You know, I just want to put it out there that I'm against murder because it's against the law, and I'm saying it because some people still do it. So to let everyone know that I'm against murder, I tell them that I'm against murder constantly. Yeah, just as empty as a statement. Alright, let's turn the channel and check out Budweiser's statement on immigration.
You don't look like you're from around here.
Is that supposed to be some kind of accusatory statement? Like as if he's the don't take kindly to your folk round here sort of people? Because I can tell you, people from different countries are going to look different when they go to other countries. Imagine my surprise if I go to Japan right now and people make the obvious statement that I don't look like I'm from here.
Warum bist du aus Deutschland?
I want to brew a beer.
That really can't be the only reason, can it? Doesn't Germany have a treasured history of brewing beer? Was Oktoberfest getting too stale for him? Okay. I get that the ad only has so much time to span details. I'm just trying to squeeze some content out of this.
Welcome to America. You don't want to hear. Go back home.
Ah, yes. I'm sure that was the sentiment that U.S. citizens had on the Germans in what, the late 19th century? Especially on a guy coming here just to make some beer for them, no less. I'm sure the rebuttal to this is, well, some people are just ignorant assholes. And I'm sure there is, but since we only get to see an immediate caricature of said ignoramus as soon as he gets his feet on U.S. shores, it just comes off as silly. Not to mention, he doesn't really look German. He's got this Chris Pratt look about him that I personally wouldn't be able to distinguish from a German.
Abandon ship!
God damn that fucking German Wunderfoot! He tried to make hop on that damn steamboat! What you thinking?
Welcome to St. Louis, son.
See, Not all U.S. citizens are a bunch of ignorant fucks. If Budweiser wanted to make that kind of statement, I think something with a bit of a Irish slant would have been more poignant. But then again, Budweiser isn't an Irish business after all. It's our time to be the professional victims.
Next time, this is the beer we'll raise.
Eberhard
Dolphusbusch.
Ugh! Get this piss water out of my brewery! Did you mix your hops with a pig's train? All in all, with all the jokes and jabs I've been making, I really can't disagree with that sentiment. As long as you have a determination and a drive to make a living in business, surely you will succeed in life. But for it to come out relatively at the same time that the travel ban was initiated, my impression of this advertisement is that it thinks that all immigrants have that same determination and drive, which is most certainly not true. We can easily see through the dump trucks of migrants pouring through Germany and Britain that have caused a culture smash, as radical Muslims come pouring in demanding Sharia law, objectively backwards teachings that make it so that women can't drive and men can marry 9-year-olds. And the migrants of which don't give a shit about the laws in said countries, as demonstrated by the New Year's Cologne rape attacks of 2016. Sure, if every immigrant had the same amount of determination to make something of themselves like this German Wunderkind, then yeah, I'm sure that I'd have no qualms with this commercial. But immigrants aren't just this square block you can mold into however you please, like with women, black people, Latinos, whatever. This is also yet another conflation with people's concern over illegal immigration compared to how Budweiser interprets it as hateful people hating on people who immigrate legally. So now that we got the two relatively short commercials, let's pin the very last and longest commercial down from some business called 84 Lumber. President Trump, tear down this wall!
Mamá. ¿Estás lista? Sí.
Okay, I might not want to belabor this whole entire video since a lot of it is set up to the message of the movie, so I might skip some parts here and there where I have some point to make.
Siempre es igual. Mira, espérate. Cuida.
So I'm supposed to assume that the woman and kid are right now traveling to America illegally, and if the frame of time is consistent, they are doing so knowing that Trump is going to build a wall to keep them out. So they'll come by, act surprised that the wall is built, get all sad and emotional, and conjure up some feeble plan to cross it. You'd think it would have been more advantageous for the two to do so before said wall was built, and I know what you're thinking. How would they know that Trump was going to do that? He's heralded as a fucking xenophobe in the eyes of illegal Mexican immigrants. Don't you think they're going to spout vile to their family members about how he's going to kick them out and such? That kind of thing doesn't get talked about in private. So on top of deciding to leave when Trump has already built the wall, presumably, you're doing it when there's inclement weather? Okay, maybe these two got a little bit more lead in their brains than most get from their Mexican drug cartels. Yeah, I know what's coming up. The kid is going to make a flag of America with the pieces she's collected throughout. Kind of a weird art project to do when all manager of strategy and brains are required to pass this border fence, or wall for that matter. That's an awfully clean face for someone who presumably has traveled upon thousands of miles across the border, making me wonder just how far away did they start their journey. I usually wager a guess that somebody attempting to cross the border would start about 50 miles away from the border and then devise their strategy to do so. And then it's a matter of finding work and a place to stay once you do so. But I'm sure those sanctuary cities will gladly take their cheap labor with loving arms, won't they? See? My argument has been made for me. These two dimwits really chose the worst possible set of scenarios for them to do this right now. It'd be like me writing out my exam just minutes before it was time to turn it in. Do I really expect a free pass like these two do?
Señor, agua, por favor.
Only now, as you are walking through the desert, do you consider asking to spare some water? Man, 84 Lumber doesn't really give Mexicans credit for ingenuity, do they? They build tunnels that span hundreds of miles. I'm sure they know how to pass the water around. Even other Mexicans are building the wall. How ironic. But oh, I'm supposed to feel saddy-waddy for some people because they won't get exploited by corporations for a cheap dime. That's the American dream, right? Yes, I'm sure there wouldn't be any other way to cross a wall, could there? There isn't like visas or something that would allow Mexicans to cross legally and not to be taken advantage of, could there? No, that's a fucking pipe dream. What? Are you telling me you didn't see the wall from the distance? Look at the size of it! You could have seen it from half a mile away! Were you just walking with your head down that entire stretch? Wow, that's a pretty flimsy wall. I imagine that a huge wind blast will knock it down, considering it has no supports from either side, and is way too thin as it is tall. Okay, that's just their interpretation of the wall, but goddamn, at least make it look imposing. I'm going to build a great wall with a big, beautiful door, and people will come into this country legally. Oh, I feel so bad that these two didn't come across the country, having to sell their bodies to whatever opportunistic corporation is willing to pay them 2 shillings an hour as they work themselves to the bone under the guise of the American dream. That they couldn't use all that dedication and energy they did to actually obtain a work visa, or just fucking follow the wall to the door entrance because I know there is going to be one. This is 84 Lumber's opportunity to make all those Trump supporters shameful that they didn't want their corporations to not only take advantage of illegal immigrants, but also fluster the job market even further. Of course, I ask again, why don't they take one of those great tunnels that burrow underneath the wall, or find somebody with a working plane to just fly over it? Oh wait, that completely throws the argument asunder for an emotional low point in the ad, of course. God damn, it's good to be a fucking American, knowing those fucking hicks are out of my country. I'm gonna choose some grizzly and bang my sister good tonight. Okay, that looks fucking stupid. First off, no security at the door? Why is the entrance comically small in width but roughly the same in height? Why isn't it wide enough where traffic can cross through it? It looks like one of those Chinese pavilion doors. Are you sure you aren't trying to cross into the Forbidden City? So the entire wall is completely pointless if all you need to do is walk a few meters and then just open the door. No security, no outposts, no request for visas, nothing. Nope, just some doors that would look like are more fitting for giants to open than human beings. Or maybe that was the point? No, I'm sure the wall won't just be as simple as, we're building a wall, but here's a door that you can cross through anyway. Just like with the Budweiser commercial, yes, I'm very sure these immigrants are passionate and want that taste of the American dream just like anyone else. But these immigrants don't know what the American dream is. See, the American dream isn't to be taken in, sight unseen, by private businesses to be worked to the bone for a pittance. The American dream isn't a handout for just anyone who wants to come to our country, and we have to oblige because of cause of racism. The American dream is not an excuse to not go through the regular procedures of earning your visa, or henceforth being ignorant of the laws that are in place in America. If these immigrants are so fucking passionate and care so deeply about American values, then they should have no problem earning their citizenship. I'll welcome them to try. By the by, what kind of product are you selling me, 84 Lumber? Are you going to build flimsy, ineffective walls that don't even serve the purpose to corral illegal immigrants out from the country? Because if that's the case, no thank you. Also, I'm just curious, just how many illegal immigrants are you holding? And might I ask, what hourly wage are you paying them? I know it's not the federal minimum because they're not U.S. citizens, and it's certainly not the state minimum either. Is this a clever marketing strategy for you to save a shitload of money to sprout cheap labor in your business? Because if it is, go fuck yourself. At least Budweiser and Audi, in their presumptuous attitude, didn't try to market their shit to take advantage of other people under the pretense of goodwill. But that was it for these adverse advertisements. Sell products, not statements.